This, my dear friends, is Weeping Widow. As it was so much fun and I got so beautiful results last time I dyed with mushrooms, I thought, well, let's do this again. And now, when I was on my weekly hiking date with my mom, I was of course again trying to find out which species of mushrooms we found, and then I had like this long alphabetical list of species of mushrooms that are able to dye. Now, I came across quite a lot of them, surprisingly, but mostly I read they dyed brown, beige, greyish brown, more beige, and I thought, well, the weather is already grey and beige, I don't want to do more beige, until I came across the Weeping Widow, Lacrymaria Lacrybunda, who apparently dyes pinkish brown, which I am aware might be just a very fancy way of saying beige, but that was the most exciting mushroom I could find on my hike, so we are going to dye with the Weeping Widow. Now, contrary to our Dyers polypore, this wasn't neatly suspended in air, these came from the very dirty forest floor, so I'm first going to try and get all the forest floor of the mushrooms. And just like last time with the Dyers polypore, you could dye with them dyed or frozen, but I am way too impatient. You know, I picked them yesterday, I want to dye with them immediately, so fresh mushrooms it'll be. I am wearing gloves, but this is actually not really a poisonous mushroom. It's not recommended to be eaten either. You could get stomach upsets from eating this one. But I'm just playing it safe. I did pick quite a bit more of this Weeping Willow than I did from the Dyers polypore, mainly because on my list of dye mushrooms, Dyers polypore is one of the ones that is written in bold, so the one that dyes very easily. This one wasn't, so it could be it's very pale, so I was like, well, then just pick enough. Yeah, let's go put them on some boiling water. Oh well, not boiling, just hot, because if you boil them, the color might get brown. We're still going to try to get brown, but pinkish brown. We want to preserve the pink. We really want to preserve the pink. Now, just as with the Dyers polypore, it's already giving off color, even though I've just put it in water. Curious. It has been a minute ever since we put the mushrooms in the pot. I reckon it has been around 120 minutes even. So I think it is high time to put some pre-scoured and pre-mordanted wool in there and see if we actually got something resembling a dye. But first I'm going to strain the mushrooms out. Smells like a very pungent soup. Bah! Not my favorite. Get all the liquid out. I just want to adjust you, don't be silly. And now we wait. I feel that was quite enough of playing the waiting game. Let's see what the Weeping Widow has turned our wool into. That's not very pink, however. It's more of a grey beige, greyish, it's greyish color. If it is, this is it. Anyway, let's rinse this off and maybe see how much pigment we still have in the dye bath. I think I'll keep this, the original color, and we'll try some testing with this. Well, I just spat on myself. Well, the wool spat on me. Okay, I just filled 2 plastic tubs. I'm going to add wood ash lye to one and iron water to the other, as per usual. So, wood ash lye, iron water. Will it have done a thing? Not quite sure. And also not quite sure. Yeah, so I just rinsed them out and I can't tell them apart. So the afterbaths didn't have much effect. I want the viewfinder. I want to see what I'm doing. If I'm even in screen or not. Ha, I am. The better. So this was our second attempt at dyeing with mushrooms, and it's not as vibrant or successful as the first time. That's a first thing we can say about this. But luckily, the mushroom doesn't really live up to its name, and we're not weeping from this color. It's not the promised pinkish brown, but it's also not a funeral color. I don't know how I would call it. Is it beige? Yes, it is beige. I was trying not to get beige by not picking certain mushrooms, but I still got beige in the end. And that is perfectly normal, as so many mushrooms actually dye a tint of beige or brown. This wool then might serve as quite a neat contrast to the very bright yellow that the Dyers polypore gave me. I don't know, there are ideas mixing up in my brain. How about you? What do you think? What do you think of this very neutral toned outcome of the dye bath? What will you do with it? Would you maybe over dye it, or, as I am pondering upon right now, combine it with something very bright to contrast? What do you say? Tell me in the comments. Anyway, all that there is left for me to say right now is, if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. Bye!